Online over this past few weeks, been speaking to singers, entertainers, and people from the music scene and the Irish music scene who are not out, needless to say, the same as the rest of us with the way that things are. Catching up with them, having a little chat. This next gentleman, incredible talent, a brilliant voice, hails from County Meath. He's been performing for, well, quite a few years. A gentleman who is equally at home singing pure American country-style music, or indeed Irish ballads. I'm delighted to say a big hello to a gentleman I know from many, many moons, Matt Leavy. Matt, how are you?
Man, Jerry, thanks very much for having me on your show. Delighted for Jerry. Thank you very much.
A real pleasure. Matt, you go back in music and for a very long time. The same with the rest of your family, who are all singers and entertainers.
Yeah, poor John passed away. My brother passed away just over 2 years ago. John done a kind of a one-man show around the scene, and he sadly passed away, the brain tumour and that. But John really enjoyed it, and we sadly missed John and all that. But my brother Paul as well. Paul plays the one man as well as that, and myself, and we're all into music. Some of them don't play music, but it was always a very musical house. Like, I mean, you know, you'd have top of the pops on there, and you'd have Pascamooney beyond and all that sort of stuff. So music played a big part in our house, and every genre of music, from country to pop to the Wolf Tones to Cat Stevens to all that, Smokey and all that. So it was a great house.
Right. Now, you started off the first sort of when you came to prominence initially was you had set up a band that was back in, was that the 90s?
A band on the road back about 1990, Jerry. All right, yeah, we did a couple of years of it. It was tough, I suppose. The early 90s just wasn't great, really. You know, it was a tough part of it, I suppose. Look, we kept at it, and look, it was tough, and I just decided, look, I wasn't making any money, and I decided to pull it off the road and that. But look, I not great years of it. Like, I enjoyed and done great things with Tammy Wynette and Buck Owens, and I did the Wembley Country Music. In fact, the last Wembley Country Music Festival that was on, I did that, and I was very, very privileged to do a lot of stuff like that one in the short space of time. I probably was there. You know, it was great.
Indeed. There was I actually remember that particular the final Wembley Country Music. It was a major event, but alas, just
it was huge, and like even Johnny Cash headlined the day we were on, and Tammy Wynette headlined the day before. In fact, we were actually done a tour with Tammy in Ireland prior to that. Just she we finished off the tour, and she came to do the Wembley as well then and that. So I mean, there was huge, great people have worked with. Like, I mean, they were the founders of it, really, the founder fathers of the whole country music scene, really. You know, they were the ones that kind of brought it where it is today. The Johnny Cashes and the Buck Owens and the Tammy Wynettes and the Crystal Gales and all that. So they really were the people that brought it where it is today.
Indeed so. I mean, at that stage, you were just a fresh-faced young lad starting out, really.
Yes. So it was in my early 20s then and that. So, like, yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, I mean, you know, it was good fun, but it was a tough business to be in. Like, I mean, you really had to be kind of making money at, Jerry. You wasn't making money at. Like, it was expensive to put bands out every night of the week and run wagons and stuff and that. And it wasn't easy, you know. But look, we kept at, and I suppose, you know, a record would have made a big difference. If you had a good hit record at that time, it would have kind of got you established. And but there was a lot of people on the road that time like me, and they didn't, you know, like myself, they didn't kind of last as well to it. In fact, actually, probably when I think back, none of them really kind of, any that came in the 90s, they never really lasted at all. It was a tough time, you know.
It was, definitely was.
And it's still, and leaving everyone aside, even, you know, the way things are at the moment, but it was even tough in the last number of years. Like, and there's only a handful of artists in Ireland really doing any crowds at all. And venues and not alone that, venues were getting scarce as well too, you know.
Indeed.
Scarce.
Yeah, but you were doing, you were doing an absolute storm. You were doing your own one-man shows. I mean, and you did a lot of work around the area around Meath and Louth and into Cavan and further afield.
Yeah, well, great, Jerry. Like, I mean, I'm very lucky with it. Like, I mean, I'm living in that boy. If anyone knows that boy, it's not far from Kells, Trimnab and the Wrexham in the middle of Ballivor, that area. I'm in the middle of them, and you know, Castleblayney's in an hour's drive from me, and Cavan and all them. They're all very close, and then, you know, another half an hour bringing a go up beyond that as well too. So that kind of radius has been good to me, and you know, there've been a lot of good old venues there, Saturdays and Fridays and Sunday nights and that. And you know, I was having a great year up till the COVID hit, and like everybody, we're all in the same boat, and you know, hopefully it'll be over sooner rather than lately. It's not easy for a lot of people, and it's you know, it's a difficult time. Like, I mean, you know, I don't know anything else. It's all I make a living out of, Jerry, is music. Probably no more than yourself. And
Indeed.
You know, and it really is a tough time. But look, you know, you just have to keep the head up, and hopefully it'll be over sooner rather than later, really, you know.
Indeed. That's all. It's all really you can do. Now, not that long ago, Matt, you released an album.
I did, yeah. It was the first one I'd done now in a number of years, and I got a good response or two as well. There's a particular song off was getting Who Left the Door to Heaven Open. I know you've been playing that for me, Jerry, and
yes.
It's getting great reaction around the place. And it's I do a live kind of a stream here on a Saturday night from my house here on Facebook, and it's good fun, and I do it on that all the same. But it's getting a good early reaction. Even, you know, people sending, like, probably now tomorrow is Friday, and Saturday Rosie, my wife, was great. She takes requests there, and she actually opens a page, all written on the top is the name of the song, and then because so many people, at the reader, maybe 10 or 15 or 20 people that actually like it, and so it's good. It's getting good. Yeah, I'm very happy to have. I recorded the album down with Desi Sheeran there, and some with David Arkins as well. Charlie Arkins' son, I'm sure.
Yes.
Everybody knows Charlie from the Cotton Mill Boy days, and you know, I'm delighted with the album and that. Like, it's good fun, and it's nice to. It's nice to do something like that, and especially the musicians that you have on it too. Like, they're top class musicians, the lads. You know, they're really brilliant, and it probably it does you the world of good to have good musicians on it too. You know,
definitely. I'll have to say the variety of songs and the style of songs is quite wide on it. I mean, the title track of the album, like I used to do. Then you go for after all these years, that one, Who Left the Door to Heaven Open, The Cowboy Rides Away. Then the classic Isle of Hope. You know, and you know, Home Away from Home, then The Streets of Bakersfield, together with Tom Power, the Wexford Logico.
Power, yeah.
It's quite a variety of material.
Well, yeah, I like to mix it up because I love ballads, as I said earlier on. I love singing ballads, and always did, and I just like to always kind of mix it up because I think, you know, people like the kind of bit of variety. If you kind of stick it all country, it's great, but I just still always like to put a couple of ballads in for it. I used to Home Away from Home and Isle of Hope, and the songs I've always like singing, and it's nice just to put them onto record, you know.
Indeed so. And so it's a good album, I'll have to say. Yeah, getting well received. The last place I actually saw you singing was at the huge Minolty Steam Threshing Day. You always appear at that.
It's right, yeah. Sadly, it's not happening this year. My brother-in-law actually is the chairman of that, but sadly, it's not happening this year. And like actually, Dundee Festival would have been the first one on around. That would have been on last Sunday, and this Sunday coming in, you would have Nobber, which would be a million miles away from your home place.
Indeed, it's not now.
That were all great days and very, very well, you know, on people, you know, that very well, you know, go to it and stuff. And sadly, it just didn't happen. But look, please God, next year we'll be all back to normal, and we can. You know, we'll be able to get all back again. But it is hard work because they do put a lot of hard work and they give a lot of money out for charities. All them, you know, they just don't do it for themselves. Yes. They do it for, like, they just break even, and any money they left over to give it out to different charities. And I know Dundee is very good at the minute. They're actually any money they had left over last year, they're buying PPE gear for nursing homes and sanitizer and hand gloves and all that sort of stuff. And it really is fantastic what they're doing, and they're doing great work. So.
That's excellent.
You know, they're well, I'm going to say long may it continue, but hopefully it'll be the short may it continue, really. Yes. We'd like to get this thing over as soon as possible, you know.
Indeed, it's hard to believe, like, right throughout the summer. I mean, you're after mentioning them. Probably the biggest is the Minolty event, which is absolutely...
Yeah, sorry, Minolty. I met you there, Jerry. It's a massive festival.
It is.
You know, Nathan Carter was headlining it this year, and it's where Nathan is fantastic, because when he's on the stage, he's looking up. There's he's looking up a big hill, and should be maybe 6,000 or 7,000 people on there easy when it's on. You know, it's a massive day. And of course, the weather the last couple of years have been fantastic. The weather last year was good. It was good as well too, on that. So
it was that? Yeah,
good fun. But look, hopefully we'll get all back again.
Hopefully, yeah. I think it's an underestimation, Matt. To be fair, 6,000 or 7,000. I think it's we're talking more than that, really, because it's a huge event.
Well, I do know that you're probably right. I know it's up in 30,000-40,000, but when he comes on, I suppose you're probably right, actually, Jerry. Actually, you're probably right. And my apologies there. There probably is a lot more on it.
As well as that, Matt, you're not alone. You do at the moment. You're doing various little pieces for various charities in Ireland.
Yeah, I just before you rang me, Jerry, I had to do so sad. It's save our sisters and brothers, or save our sisters and daughters. It's it's so sad it's for suicide. So a friend of mine has asked me to do a little link. I just, ask people to donate, and I sing a little song with it, and then to put it up on the day and get people to donate and stuff like that,
Fabulous work.
It's, it's like I try to have a few more to do, actually, Jerry. I suppose everyone is media. I suppose people are taking the media now. I tell you, Facebook it is fantastic too. I think it's people are probably appreciate it more now than ever, really.
Indeed.
People can kind of connect. It's a great way of connecting. Like we had last week, we had the darkness into light. We did it ourselves. We're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's to watch the darkness into the light, and people donate onto it. I think on the Late Show took in 1.7 million last Friday night, just alone on that.
Yeah, so it was huge amount.
Actually, so it was huge amount. Yeah, so it's people are great all over the world when it comes to this time. This when people are in need,
Indeed so, and great to see it, and great work by the one you're talking about, the So Sad, also Pieta House. And
So Sad, exactly. Yeah, there's Pieta House and all them. They're fantastic,
Fantastic organisations, indeed, and great to see it. Matt, listen, it's been lovely to catch up with you, and you keeping yourself busy and doing all sorts of things as much as you can at the moment.
Oh, sure. Well, between painting around the house and cutting lawns and cutting hedges and stuff, I suppose, I think everyone has all their garden and their summer stuff done at this stage now, because normally you'd be doing it over a fine day, but the weather, thankfully, has been so good to us, and, we're out getting a few jobs done. So, look, we're just kind of keeping busy, and the music is great. Like, I look forward to the show on a Saturday night, Jerry, because it keeps the song, because I find if I don't go back for maybe after Christmas, I've probably forgotten all the songs that were learned. It's nice to be able to kind of keep up with it,
Indeed.
But look, you have to keep the thing alive, anyway, Jerry. So, but thanks a million, Jerry, for having me on, and you've been a great man for country music all down through the years, and it's people like yourself on the radios that keep the whole thing alive for us too as well,
A real pleasure, Matt. Listen, it's lovely to catch up with you. Lovely to speak to you.
Good man, Jerry. Thanks so much, Jerry. Appreciate it very much.